So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Throwback rebuild series, and today it's going to be the 2017 Spurs. We're going to talk about it in just a second once we get into the video, but this is a very, very interesting San Antonio Spurs team. This was the final season that Kawhi Leonard was a Spur. Now, to be fair, he only ended up playing 9 games and then eventually went on to be traded to the Toronto Raptors, where he played for 1 season and ended up winning a championship with them, or should I say for them. Obviously, this is a team that still has some older members of the core. Tim Duncan is long gone. Tony Parker is still here. There's some other nice veteran talent. This was a team that finished 7th in the Western Conference and lost in 5 games in the first round to the Golden State Warriors. So I don't want to say this was like the end of an era, but in some ways it kind of is. Our goal today is to maybe change the mind of Kawhi Leonard and bring San Antonio another championship. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. We've been on a great pace so far, bouncing back between some of the offseason rebuilds, some of the historic rebuilds, but I certainly do want to do some challenges soon, especially while the playoffs tend to ramp up, and we cannot do as many offseason rebuilds because not as many teams are getting eliminated. So let me know any of those down below in the comment section, of course, with anything else you do want to see. Let's get into this one. As I'm sure you're all very much aware, this is obviously not a roster that 2K created themselves, so somebody created this. It's not entirely accurate, but it's the one we've used in the past for the 2017-2018 season, and so on and so forth. And the Spurs are actually pretty good. I'll give whoever created this a lot of credit. Let's get into it and go over the roster. So Tony Parker, obviously one of the members that's been around for a very, very long time. I still cannot believe that he actually spent, was it 1 season with the Charlotte Hornets, whatever the hell it was. That image is just so goddamn weird. But, for a 3-season rebuild, as much as I love Tony, he's probably not going to be a long-term option. So it is definitely something we're going to have to kind of go year to year with. But obviously, legend around here, Hall of Famer. Patty Mills is here. Patty Mills is certainly a serviceable backup point guard. Only 29 years old, is on an expiring deal. So we're definitely going to have to make a decision with him this offseason. But at a 78 overall, he's more than good enough to be a backup here. The shooting guard spot, we have 40-year-old Manu Ginobili. I don't know, was it the year prior? Was the year prior to this the big kind of block on James Harden to end the game in the playoffs? I forget. Maybe it was. I don't know. But 40-year-old Manu is probably going to be coming off the bench in some way, shape, or form. Danny Green is still here. He is also 30. He was also a part of the deal with the Toronto Raptors. I believe he was anyways. Well, he ended up there somehow. I think he was. Bryn Forbes is only 24. And then here's where it gets very interesting because we have a 21-year-old DeJounte Murray. Obviously, only a 74 overall right now. But we all know what DeJounte Murray turned out to be, a very, very good basketball player. So I'd like to get him some minutes. I don't know exactly where that's going to be. But I'm certainly not going to let him ride the bench and play 0 minutes. And then I can almost say that same thing about Derek White, who has gone on to be one of the better role players. If you even want to consider him a role player, might be a tier above that. In basketball, he's a tremendous two-way guard. He's only 23. 71 overall is kind of tough, but obviously, similar with DeJounte. We know what kind of player he obviously turns out to be. God, this Spurs system with Popovich, they just grind out good players, dude. It's insane. Small forward spot, Kawhi Leonard, kind of the man of the hour right now. Obviously, he's not going to get all pissy here in 2K anyways. And I don't know, if somebody could correct me if I'm wrong on this. Did I see, because Kawhi obviously dealt with some injuries in the later years, and still does, obviously, of his Spurs career. And was it something that some of the veterans on the team were battling through injuries as well, but they were playing, and then Kawhi made a big fuss about it or something like that? Whatever the hell it was. I feel like I heard something about that. But, he has 2 years left on the deal. In real life, he ended up, having 1 season, here, and then went on to play for Toronto for 1 season, and obviously departed for the Clippers. So, that 3rd season is going to be a big one because we got to make sure we're able to re-sign him. 31-year-old Rudy Gay is certainly a very serviceable kind of rotation piece at an 82 overall. That 2-year contract is certainly not terrible. So excited to see what we can do with him. The power forward spot, LaMarcus Aldridge is 32, but still at that 87 overall. Probably one of the better big men here that we're going to have the option of having. Kyle Anderson is here, and then Davis Bertans as well. For me, there's not a lot to love about either of these guys. Certainly, they're both, relatively quality NBA players, but neither of them are obviously stars in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know which one I'm going to go with. And then the center spot, Pau Gasol. He is 37. I don't really know. Part of me is like, hey, I can't trade away like the old Spurs legends like Parker or Manu, but Pau Gasol is certainly old. I don't know if I'd put him in the legends category, at least for the San Antonio Spurs. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with Pau, but a 37-year-old is certainly not our center of the future. Sometimes I really wonder just how stupid this game actually is, why the Los Angeles Clippers are willing to give me DeAndre Jordan, who's an 86 overall. Now, he is pushing 30 and making a whole lot of money, but he's still a very, very good center for a 37-year-old Pau Gasol. Bryn Forbes, who's 24, was an expiring deal, certainly a nice, relatively young piece, but I have DeJounte Murray and Derek White sitting behind him, and that's crazy to say, so they're both going to play. Along with that, only a second-round pick in this year's draft. Insane to consider this probably one of still the better centers in the league with DeAndre Jordan, but certainly an upgrade at that center spot. I am super excited to see how he kind of fits in with this group. And at this point, it's about finding a backup center, maybe a little bit of depth in other places, but yeah, insane that we were able to pull that off. Now, my options for a backup center are not nearly as strong as they were for a starting center, but all things considered, this is still a fine deal for, one season. So, Kyle Anderson, Davis Bertans are going over to Chicago for Robin Lopez in a 2022 second. Now, you might be saying, why are you trading away both your backup power forwards? And you'll see in just a second. So, Lopez is going to come in. He's going to be the backup to DJ. And then here's how we did it. A little bit unorthodox, but it's the way it's going to kind of have to work. So, I moved Rudy Gay to the backup power forward spot. Certainly, he was fine behind Kawhi Leonard. He's going to probably get the same amount of minutes here behind Aldridge. And then I moved DeJounte Murray to the backup small forward spot where his overall actually jumps one. Kind of funny because he's probably more of like a point guard, maybe even in some ways. So he's going to be the backup behind Kawhi. I don't know if that's going to be permanent, but it's certainly a way to get him minutes here in year one because the shooting guard spot with Manu and Danny Green and then Derek White still here as well, who unfortunately probably won't get a lot of minutes this year, is just a complete logjam. So again, if there weren't such legends, I think Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker would both certainly be on their way out of town, but I'm not going to piss off the Spurs fan base by trading away two of the greatest players in the history of their franchise. So that is our 10-man rotation. Derek White, I cannot send to the G League. Honestly, the G League doesn't even do anything anymore. It used to boost up overalls like crazy, but just not really a thing anymore. And honestly, for good reason. Like if I sent, and I think it was like 2K20 used to do this. If I sent Derek White to the G League for a year, he'd probably go from a 71 to a 76, which I understand they're there to develop, but that's crazy. And I'm kind of happy it's not a thing. So I'm just rambling on at this point. We have our 10-man rotation. Let's set it. Ready to go here for our first season and San Antonio. We obviously went ahead and made some upgrades to this team. I think they are moves that are certainly going to benefit us for the long run, especially because there's a strong possibility that Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili both end up retiring this offseason. And honestly, I know I typically override a lot of retirements, but it just doesn't really feel like that would be the case for Parker, who is 35? Maybe he won't retire. And Manu, who is 40. So we're going to kind of play that year to year. But Parker is still starting. Got Danny Green in here as my starting shooting guard. Kawhi Leonard, 35 minutes a night as the star of this team at a 95 overall. LaMarcus Aldridge as our 4, and then newly acquired DeAndre Jordan, who we got for a bag of peanuts. I still cannot believe it. Bench unit Rudy Gay will be the 6th man. Patty Mills, Manu Ginobili, Robin Lopez, and then DeJounte Murray. Definitely want to get him some minutes. So again, unfortunately, we cannot get Derek White. There's just really no space for him. I mean, maybe when Manu Ginobili retires, we'll find a way to get him into that starting 5, but for now, he'll be our 11th guy if somebody fouls out. So that is it for year one. Obviously, a lot of talent here under one of the greatest coaches in the history of basketball, and Greg Popovich. And yeah, just kind of funny. That looks like an older picture, but it still looks like he's really old. So I don't know. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. The first season comes to an end here in San Antonio, and we finished with a record of 60-22. Not too bad, all things considered. Now, obviously, we had the luxury of playing Kawhi Leonard 82 games, and, this team is just really, really good. Steph Curry is your MVP. John, you can ignore the Rookie of the Year. The Rookie of the Year in year 1 is always bogus. Jeremy Lin, Linsanity still going on in Brooklyn. Takes home 6th man of the year. Kawhi does win Depoy. Wow. He was probably in the MVP conversations. Those are tremendous numbers all across the board. Chris Dunn, most improved, and why Eric Spoelstra is the head coach of the Warriors is something I ask myself every single time I do one of these videos with this file. It's weird, but yeah, 64 wins. So I'm assuming we were the 2 seed here. We are. You can see it right there. We'll check out the full standings and some stats real quick. It was 4 games behind the Warriors. I could have done simple math because I know they went 64-18, and I knew we went 60-22. Wow, even without Kawhi, I know this was the year prior to them getting him, so DeMar and Lowry and all those guys still tearing it up. Toronto takes the 1 seed in the East. I mean, they were 1 seed a few times, I think. I mean, didn't really matter when LeBronto came to town. All right, Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, Tony Parker, age 35, 15-2-9. Maybe I don't have to move on from Tony P. Rudy Gay off the bench, Patty Mills, Manu, Danny Green, DeAndre Jordan, DeJounte Murray, and Robin Lopez. Rebounds per game was DJ, and then assists was Mr. Parker. So, round one, we have the Spurs. Battle of Texas here. CP3, James Harden are a very, very elite backcourt. Outside of that, you got Eric Gordon at the 3, PJ Tucker, Clint Capella. This was prior to the season of the small ball lineup, right? I'm assuming that, I think that was actually after the Capella trade. That would make sense, numbnuts. It's crazy to think about PJ Tucker in his Rocket days. This was a fun team. Those Rockets teams were really good. So certainly a challenge here for them as a round one opponent as a 7 seed, and maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. All right, Pelicans here in the Western Conference semifinals. Rondo, Holiday, Josh Smith, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis. I did a Pelicans rebuild in this era, and I don't know why Josh Smith is 1 on the team and 2 in 81 overall. I think he played like literally 2 games in like 6 minutes for the Pelicans this season, but that's neither here nor there, and that's some of the imperfections we kind of talk about with this shared file. And that's what you get, honestly, because 2K refuses to make rosters every single year, even though they can do historic draft classes. We are up 3-2 in this series currently, and as we probably all expected, we are facing the Warriors here in the Western Conference Finals. So I still think of how different that, I think it was 26. Was it 2016? What was the year that the Spurs won 67 and 15? I think it was 2016. What that battle would have looked like if, Kawhi Leonard wasn't undercut by Zaza Pachulia. So crazy. All right, here goes nothing. We are down 1, or excuse me, we win 1. I'm all over the place. We go up 2-1, up 3-1. And we just beat the Super Team Warriors in 5. And now we have the Wizards? Wall, Beal, Porter. Okay. Really? I don't know about that. What the fuck? I don't really see a path to the Wizards beating us. I'm certainly going to get some gameplay if I can. I know you guys enjoy it for whatever reason because I suck at the game. But there's no guarantees that we're back here, even though I'm actually kind of surprised we're even in the finals here in year 1. So why not? 2:44 left to go here in Game 5. I am, if I were to have a list of the things I'm most surprised at, well, first and foremost would be the fact that the goddamn Wizards are in the finals. But second on that list would be the fact of just how easily we beat the Super Team Warriors. I mean, certainly not going to complain about it, but I'm just very, very surprised that, it just felt like it was nothing. Like, it felt like we were probably playing the Wizards in the Western Conference Finals, the level of ease that we honestly had there. But, look, I fully understand we have a very, very good and very talented team, but I just really didn't see a path for us beating them. That's okay. I guess we'll just get a couple shots up in here. I know you guys do like gameplay. I don't blame you, even though I'm terrible at this game. That's an insane shot by Kawhi Leonard. So we'll just go ahead and just do a few more possessions here. Tony Parker. Could this be his last championship? Could very well be Manu's last championship. That obviously never happened. So let's just see what we can do here. Just score. I don't care. Jason Smith. Just John. Shoot. Please just go. Marcin, just go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to do one more possession here. I want to score with Kawhi again. I don't know if I want to do a 3 or... Let's see what kind of comes up here. So we're going to give Kawhi the ball. So crazy seeing Kawhi back in a Spurs jersey, man. It really is. All right, let's call the screen from LaMarcus, who is moving like my grandfather right now. They're going to get blitzed, and good night. A championship in year 1 is, of course, fantastic. I definitely don't want to say that we started out with a really bad team because that would just be a blatant lie. But, insane numbers for Kawhi. Wow, 53% from 3. That's insane. Obviously we had a really good foundation when we kicked off this rebuild. Okay, so Manu Ginobili does call it a career. I'm not going to override his retirement. I'm going to let the man go out with a ring, let him ride off into the sunset. Really, I'm not really too hurt about it because, we have DeJounte Murray. We have Derek White if we want these guys to get minutes. So crazy to see Manu retiring. Did any other Spurs end up calling it a career? It doesn't really look like it. So, all right, staff retirements, Armstrong, Bodes, Mason. Okay, cool. Hall of Fame. Manu Ginobili. Hall of Famer. Let's just get that out of the way here. 2K back on their bullshit. All right, wait, what? Manu's jersey has to be retired by the Spurs, right? I believe it is anyways. That's some bullshit, 2K. All right, historic changes. You can draft. That's cool. Yeah, that's good. And then I think this is just some things with jerseys. All right, draft lottery. I'm very well aware that we're not going to have a lottery pick, but let's just go through it and see real quick. The Kings always end up with the number 1 overall pick. It must be like some sort of glitch in 2K. If you guys have been watching my rebuilds from this era, specifically, the Kings always end up number 1. I don't know why. It just Always happens. Always does. All right, we are obviously very comfortable with Greg Popovich as our head coach. We are going to head up to the draft. We do have our first, I believe we do. It is at number 30. I'll draft somebody. Why the hell not? I know we have some aging talent on this team, and I never really draft with like number 30 overall picks. So this is the 2018 draft. This is Luka. This is Ayton. This is Marvin Bagley. Obviously, none of those guys are here. There are some decent NBA players like DeAnthony Melton wouldn't be a bad get late in the first round. Yuta Watanabe, Grayson. Oh, Anthony Simons just chilling here. I feel like I have to take Anthony Simons. Yeah, he's clearly the best player left. So, I know he's not going to be like the highest overall, but it would, wow, he's 69 overall. Wow. All right, DeJounte Murray going to be coming back on that team option. We have no qualifying offers. And then who is our main free agents? It's really just, is it just Robin Lopez? Who's pissed? DJ's pissed? I don't know why. That's interesting. Okay, so we do have a gap to fill at our back. I'm torn. I don't know what to do with Tony Parker. Part of it kills me to like think of him in another team's jersey, but then again, he did play in another team's jersey. I know he just left in free agency, but oh shit. Oh, wait, what? Who was our backup shooting guard? Oh, it was Danny Green. All right, we're good here with Kawhi. We're good here. And then I don't know. He's aggro. What is he, a teenage girl? Aggro? Really? All right, let's just get into some things here. I'm going to worry about some backups. So Patty Mills certainly would like to retain his services. Danny Green, I'm not just going to let walk for nothing. And then, honestly, I might do a sign and trade, but Robin Lopez, I definitely don't want to just let go. So that's cool. We get everybody important back. I don't really know what to do in terms of a major move. I might get some shit, but I honestly might trade Tony Parker. We all know damn well how that regression is going to hit. And I don't really want to be here to see that coming. It's just going to put us back another step. So I know I could have traded him in year one and probably got the same reaction I will to trading him now, but let's not act like he didn't go on to play for another franchise. I just want to put that out there before we do anything. Kemba Walker is just rotting away in Charlotte, and if I'm going to send Tony Parker anywhere, let's send him to the destination that he actually ended up in. I know it was a little bit of a different form the way he got there, but nonetheless, I'd like to acquire Kemba Walker. He's an expiring contract, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to make me give up as much if he was on a multi-year contract. So I'll give you 4. Honestly, I think he'd be a very, very good... Okay, only takes 3. Welcome to him. I also give up Simons. If he was like a 72 overall, maybe I hang on to him, but a 69 is a little bit too much of a project, especially for a team that's competing now. So I honestly am going to let Danny Green start again. It might be for the last time, but I want to get Derek White some minutes behind him, and that makes a lot of sense to me. So we're just going to roll with it. Lopez, I'm interested in what I want to do with him. I could just keep him. Nope. Really? Okay. I'll just hang on to him. It is what it is. I don't know why DeAndre Jordan's on his period. I feel like this was something that used to happen in older 2Ks where DeAndre Jordan would just get like low morale all the time. So I don't really know what you can complain about. You're on a max contract and you just won a championship, big fella. So let's tone that down a little bit. I will see you guys at the start of year number 2. Last year, we ended up winning a championship that I really didn't expect. I thought we had absolutely no chance against the Super Team Warriors. We got lucky and met up with the Wizards in the finals, and then we won 60 games throughout the regular season as well. I think this offseason, we've done nothing but improve this team. Kemba Walker is a very, very big addition. Now, we will see some regression in some areas, especially on the bench, but this is still a very, very strong unit, and I fully expect to be in the mix once again. So Kemba, Danny Green down to a 75, a little unfortunate, but kind of expected. Kawhi Leonard still here at our small forward spot, who will be an impending free agent this offseason. Good to note. LaMarcus Aldridge and then DeAndre Jordan, who appears to be back to his normal self, up back, I guess, to an 87 overall, however you want to word it. Rudy Gay, who I believe is also a free agent this offseason. He's still going to be my 6th man. Got Patty Mills back here. Very important piece. DeJounte Murray still backing up Kawhi. I understand it's a little weird to play him at the 3, but just kind of the way things worked out, especially because his overall did go up. At the 3, Robin Lopez remains our backup center, even though that overall is going down. And then Derek White, who is only a 73 overall, but is finally cracking the rotation as our 10th and final guy. So, again, I think we're better than last year just because some of the star power. Kemba Walker was a huge addition to this team. He was very good at this point in time. So, interested nonetheless to see how this goes. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. I thought last year was kind of the ceiling for how good this team can be in the regular season. It turns out I was very wrong because Kawhi Leonard not only won an MVP, but he led this team to 72 wins, which would tie the second best record in the history of basketball. Just an insane season all around. Kemba Walker edition, I'm sure, made a big part in that, but fantastic season. Hopefully Kawhi will be back after another championship. We'll find out. Luka Doncic wins Rookie of the Year as a member of the Sacramento Kings. Wasn't that hard, Sacramento. I cannot get over that. Look, I get it. I understand that people are very nervous sometimes about, foreign, European, whatever the hell you want to call it for whatever reason. I don't know if the Dragon Bender situation screwed that one up all across the board. It really shouldn't have because, obviously hindsight. But again, just the Marvin Bagley fit, to be fair, I thought he was going to be good. But Luka, oh man. Talk your shit, Luka. Markieff Morris is your sixth man of the year. Kawhi is also your DPOY once again. Jahlil Okafor. That doesn't really look like Jahlil Okafor, but all right, he's most improved. And 72 wins is certainly going to give Popovich a coach of the year. So let's dive into some standings. We were clearly the 1 seed. Warriors at 59 wins behind us. I'm not going to lie to you, they still scare me. Who the hell's tearing it up in New York? Oh my God. It's an interesting front court. All right, let's get into some numbers a little bit. How did everybody play across the board? Kawhi won an MVP, 29 points a game. He leads us in scoring. Kemba Walker, a fantastic second option next to him. LaMarcus Aldridge kind of really embracing that third option. Rudy Gay, Patty Mills, Murray, Jordan Green, Lopez, and Mr. Derek White. Rebounds was DJ, and then assists was Kemba. So round one, we do have the Memphis Grizzlies. Mike Conley, Sean Livingston, Mr. Mid-Range God himself, Troy Brown Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr., who still ended up as a Grizzly, funny enough. And then Jonas Valanciunas. So this team is good. I don't think they really stand a chance against us, but there's certainly some talent there. They do steal game 2 on... Okay, let's not do this shit, 2K. Thank you. Up 3-2, and that's closeout. 6 games, good for Memphis for pushing us to 6. The Minnesota Timberwolves here. Jimmy Buckets still here. Only spent 1 season in Minnesota. It was a very interesting season. Karl-Anthony Towns is a 91. Is Karl-Anthony Towns even a 91 overall right now? I don't think he is. I think he's like an 87. That's kind of crazy and sad that I know that. All right, they still game 1 on the road. We respond with 2 straight wins, make it 3 straight wins, and that is another Western Conference Finals appearance. That's a quick gentleman sweep if you look up what that is. The Thunder, who do not have Kevin Durant, but they do still have Russell Westbrook, Joe Harrison here, Paul George. This was PG. I still think this is one of his best seasons ever. That year that I think he was 3rd in the MVP voting, he was just on another level. But they obviously have 2 incredible talents with Russ and PG-13. I just don't think they have the firepower to keep up with us, and that proves that. It is us and the Sixers here. Look at them getting out of the second round. You get Simmons, Redick, Andrew Wiggins, Rocco, Joel Embiid. All right. Interesting. Got Fultz off the bench. Very, very interesting. This technically was the season that the 76ers lost to Kawhi Leonard. It was in the second round. I'm sure you all know damn well the infamous shot that Kawhi Leonard hit to end the 76ers season. Still one of the craziest I've ever seen. So let's see if Kawhi can end the 76ers season again, this time just in the NBA Finals. We are up 3-1. We close them out in 5. Kawhi, just another Finals MVP. I have a feeling he might want to come back this offseason. Let's hope that is true. So Pau Gasol ends up calling it a career. I'm still very happy we made the trade and got DJ. Tyson Chandler spent a year in Toronto. Nene, Dwayne Wade. Oh my God, man. It's so sad to see all the guys I grew up on retiring. I'm talking about Dwayne Wade. I'm not talking about Nene and Pau Gasol, respectfully. That's a stray. I'm sorry. That's a stray. D-Wade, Pau Gasol both enter the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements. Luol Deng getting his jersey retired by the Bulls. Interesting. Historic changes. Coach's challenge. Good. That's fine. Who cares? This is stupid. That's not good. This is good. And then they're just changing some uniforms, all that fun stuff. Lottery. I don't think I've traded for anything. I don't even know if I have any picks this year. So we're not going to be in the lottery. It is the Suns, the Mavericks, Rockets, Pelicans, and Hornets. This is the 2019 draft. This is Zion. This is John Morant. All those guys. Staff signing, Popovich obviously will stay on, as in now I'm very happy to keep him as our head coach. And we look at the draft. We have the 30th overall pick in round 2. I am going to pass on the opportunity. Oh, wow, this looks like a fantastic contract and player to take on. Thank you very much, Cleveland. We will skip over the draft entirely. Team player options. Kemba declined, so he's an important piece I want to get back with. Wow, we have a lot of free agents, actually. I don't know who Alex House Jr. is, but pass. All right, so this is an insane free agency class. Just looking at the guys here. Kawhi Leonard has 10 offers. I am going to do my best. Oh, my God. If he departs for the Clippers like he actually did after that year in Toronto, I will lose it. We actually do have some money just because we have so many free agents. I'm just going to bring back everybody. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, wait, I'm just curious. What are the Clippers giving Kawhi? That is about $34 million a year. Yeah, let's just go ahead and just... okay. I got to make sure that he accepts this. Okay, thank God. All right, I also want to make sure I bring back Rudy Gay, who does have 2 offers. Ooh, about $8 million a year from the Bulls. He's being... Wow, that's a fat fucking contract. All right, I don't really want to pay him that much, but I guess I will. And then Aldridge, obviously super important as well. All right, we can wait on... Oh, shit. I didn't even realize Kemba was one of the other... I'm trying to sign Rudy Gay before I sign Kemba. What the hell am I doing? Thank God Kemba doesn't have any offers. We're not going to renounce Kemba. I will find somebody to replace Robin Lopez. He's a little old. That regression certainly hitting. So Kemba Walker, going to bring him back on a 5-year deal, and he does accept as well. So thank God. I knew it was a busy free agency class for us, and I'm very happy that we were able to retain at least everybody that was really important to this team. So I would like to find a Danny Green upgrade. I think he's fine for what we were kind of hoping, but I think there is an upgrade out there, so why wouldn't I find it? And then in terms of the backup center spot, oh man, is there 2 Bobons here? Yeah, this is one of the other issues you kind of run into when you're doing this. Taj Gibson's 34. Fuck it, who cares? Bringing in old talent to San Antonio tends to work out relatively well. So he's the highest overall. I know we'll see regression. Who cares? I will attempt to find a Danny Green trade. Again, I don't have to, but it does feel a little weird having a 76 overall in my starting lineup kind of willingly at this point. So let's see what we can do. I thought it would be kind of a fun idea to try to add Bogdanovich to this team. I signed Amari Carroll because I had to make the money work. Again, who really actually cares? So, yeah, I mean, he's young. He's making $5 million, 26 years old. Not a significant upgrade over Danny Green in any way, shape, or form, but at least he's not going to regress. So, I don't know. I have 2 first-round picks. If you want to take both of them, you're more than welcome to. It only takes 1. All right, man. That is going to be our group heading into the final season here in San Antonio. Certainly an aging group in some ways, but I still think we're really good. Last season, we tied the second best record in NBA history and won our 2nd straight championship. We are well on our way to our 3rd, hopefully. This team did get a little bit better this offseason. Not seeing as much regression as I honestly thought I would, which I guess I'm kind of happy about. 2K is typically on their bullshit with that kind of stuff, but today it's actually going kind of well. Kemba Walker is going to be joined in the backcourt by a new member, Bogdanovich. Excited to see what he can do here for us. Kawhi Leonard, after re-signing with us on a 5-year max deal, is still going strong. LaMarcus Aldridge and DJ, who I still cannot believe I got for Pau Gasol to kick off this video. I mean, just insane. Was it Powell? It was Powell, right? I traded Powell, I think. DeJounte Murray, who is up to a 79 overall, will be definitely my 6th man here. I think he's the best player off the bench we have right now. Excited for him to get some more minutes here. Patty Mills, Rudy Gay, who's regressed a little bit. Taj Gibson, who really didn't go down in overalls. I think he was a 78 with like the 1+ morale boost, so I don't know. And then Derek White, who just has not progressed in any way, shape, or form. But he's playing 10 minutes a night, and I'm a Celtics fan. I love Derek White, so he's going to stay. I will see you guys at the end of what is hopefully going to be a really fun 3rd final season. I don't know what I did to make this game love me so much, because it typically hates me. But whatever I did today, it's working. Kawhi Leonard wins his 2nd straight MVP. We tied the 2nd best record in NBA history last year. This year, we give ourselves the best record. We went 78-4, which is not something I do on a regular basis. I can't really believe that 78-4 is even a real possibility. I've done it before, but it's, again, not something that happens very often. Kawhi, all insane numbers across the board. Zion Williamson is a Phoenix Sun. He is your Rookie of the Year. Markelle Fultz, 6th man. Kawhi, 3rd straight depoy. Jahlil Okafor, I guess, back in Philly. I think he was in Brooklyn last year. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. All right, I think it's a safe bet. If I was a betting man, which I am, it would probably mean that we're the 1 seed. We are 25 games up. Oh my God, that's comical. Let's check out some numbers real quick, see how everybody played. Kawhi Leonard, our leading scorer and the MVP. Kemba Walker, Aldridge, Bogdanovich, Murray, Mills, Gay, Jordan, White, and Gibson. Rebounds was DJ, assists Kemba. So, I mean, you win 78 games, you're probably not really worried about who's in front of you. What the hell are they doing to James Harden and CP3? Oh my God, I feel bad for them. That's tricky. All right, we do win in 5. Moving on to the Portland Trailblazers. Timeout. I have a few questions. First and foremost, where's Damian Lillard? Right? You don't just let Damian Lillard go, especially for Wesley Blackman, who is a 66 overall. That brings up my next question. You couldn't find anybody just a little bit better, right? There's not a single free agent out there that would have taken a minimum who's like a 73, 74 overall. I'm just spitballing here. But, all right, yeah, no, let me know how that works out for you. Thanks for coming. All right, it is the Golden State Warriors once again, who still have not made a finals with this super team, well, at least here in 2K. At least, yeah, you understand. Yeah, they're very good. So we did win 78 games. This team still kind of scares me. So we'll go game to game. They win game 3. We win game 4. They win 5. We win in 6. 76ers once again in the finals. They might be looking for a little revenge. Unfortunately, I don't know if that revenge is going to come. So, oh wow, it did go 6. That's 3 championships. Insane video. I'm very well aware that this certainly wasn't the most challenging team to rebuild. But like, even if you just look at this, does this look like a 78 win team to you? Because it really doesn't to me. I'm not like I've had some 78 win teams before and 78 and higher. I've won, I think, 81 games before. Have I ever gone 82-0? I don't know. I think I have. I'm not really sure. I've been doing this for way too long. But yeah, no, this just doesn't look like it. It has the buildup of, an 80-win basically team, but not basically. It's a 78-win team, dumbass. But you know what? It worked out here today. Obviously, fantastic head coach, fantastic roster, and a fantastic goddamn rebuild. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. That is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.